Hi, light workers. This is a video stemming off my video yesterday with the very high pain that I am experiencing in my lower back. Turns out, after having a body code healing with one of my amazing healer friends, Mary Ellen, that this is stemming from my past life as a gigantic Celtic warrior. The interesting story about this is that I saw this lifetime. It was actually one of the first past lifetimes that I saw I was in a conference with Brian Weiss, who is, the guru of past lives, in Manhattan in 2014. And it was the first life that I saw at that conference. I saw 4 past lives that day. This was the first life that I saw. And I was fierce. So, gigantic Celtic warrior, right? So I was a giant among the humans. And I was the biggest, and I was the strongest, and I was like the prize. Nobody could kill me. I basically waved my arm and killed like 20 soldiers. I was in the army as a warrior. So it was my job to be in the army and war and kill people, right? So I remember that my former spouse was my daughter, and she was so beautiful. I remember bouncing her on my knee, and she was a human, and my wife was a human. And at the time, I didn't know who my wife was because it was 2014, and I hadn't met her yet. But just in this healing, I realized that my wife is who my former spouse, Liz, met and left me for, we could use those words, she left me for this woman named Kaisa. And she was my wife in that lifetime. Now, I don't really know how we produced a human child. I was a giant, Kaisa was a human, and then we produced a human girl, Liz. She was our only daughter. But in this vision that I just got in the Healing with Mary Ellen, I saw Kaisa talking to the fairies to help us have Liz. So the fairies helped us get pregnant somehow. A giant having intercourse with a human. I guess stranger things have happened, but whatever. In any case, I saw this just now, and I'm like, of course she was my wife. Of course it was her. I've seen Kaisa in a good handful of lifetimes, and a couple very recently, where Liz was her daughter again, and Kaisa was my daughter. And forever, soulmate that I keep talking about, was my husband, and my son Larkin was Kaisa's husband. So father of Liz, husband to Kaisa, and my son-in-law. And very, very, very powerful as well in that lifetime. Larkin was also. He is always very powerful. So, very interesting, right? Do you see what I mean when I say that we travel with the same souls again and again and again and again. I've seen Larkin as my son and as my brother and as my boss um, when we were building Stonehenge. He was my boss. He was in charge, and I was one of his workers. And just amazing things I've seen with Larkin. And now I keep seeing some lives with Kaisa as well. I saw another lifetime where she was my mother. That was the first lifetime that I saw right after I met her. I was like, she was my mother. I felt this beautiful, unconditional love towards her. And it was hard because my wife just left me for her. But it was like it didn't matter. I knew that she was supposed to be with Kaisa. And I was grateful for it. And I was happy for Liz. I'm still very happy for her. I want them to work out a lot. I really do. I want them to be happy. I want them to learn all the lessons that they're supposed to together and just be good. Be good people and be happy. I really do want that. And she keeps showing up. When I met her, I was like, I know this woman. I know her soul. And this is not surprising, but it's like, wow. Again, here she is. I haven't seen her as my wife yet, so this was interesting. And we were happy. We were really happy. And it was very interesting because in 2014 at the time, I was like, I don't know who my wife is, but it was like, it didn't really matter because it was more about seeing Liz as my daughter. And in that lifetime, Gigantic Celtic Warrior lifetime, I was able to see Liz's wedding. I don't know who the groom was. I'm not positive on that yet. A couple of different people just came into mind. Possibly. I got to unravel that a little bit more. But I remember very clearly when I saw the lifetime that I knew her father-in-law was her mother in this lifetime. Her name was Kathy. That I was like, oh, that's Kathy. And that was her father-in-law. So the father of her husband. Possible that it was Larkin. I don't know. I'm going to unravel that more. I'll be back on that one. So the thing going back to my back and the pain, I know that a lot of the physical pain stems from this gigantic Celtic warrior version of me, past life of mine. He was the biggest and the strongest, so he was like the prize. Think Aslan in Narnia. Did you see the movie Narnia? That like cartoon kind of like one that was on HBO when we were kids. And how they captured him and they threw a net over him, and then they were like stabbing him in different spots with things to kill him. That's what they did to me. They ambushed me. And it was like this whole big like celebration thing. We got him, we got him, we got the giant. And I obviously fell down, and they like netted over me, kind of like Aslan. And they started sticking weapons into me everywhere. And specifically, I remember they put a metal pipe through my ankle. And that's where my ankle came out. I had the car accident. That ankle. Definitely in my back and my side, like everywhere. Anywhere they could stick something, they did. And I was left for dead. And it was my brother, Andrew, in this lifetime, my brother, who was my brother on the battlefield. And he found me. He unhooked me. He you know, like took me out, but I was already kind of dying because it was a while. And he held me in his arms, and he held me until I died. Then in 2014, when I saw all this in the Brian Weiss conference, I saw Azrael, our Archangel of Death, who takes us home every lifetime. And I was flying home with her. And I said, those people killed me. And she said, they did what they had to do. And I said, ah. And it was like a realization. I killed all those people. And she said, you did what you had to do. Because we were soldiers. This was our job. The war was our job. We were trained, and it was our purpose to kill the other kingdoms or whatever it was. Celtic warrior. But anyway, there's more healing that needs to be done with Mr. Gigantic Celtic Warrior. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to do a cord cutting, the negative cords that are still attached to us, because there's more lessons to be learned with this physical healing lessons of this lifetime. And I have to do it. It's necessary. It's needed, clearly. And it was really interesting because it all stemmed from me at the hypnotist event that I went to on Thursday. As soon as the hypnotist had sleep and I went under, I saw him. The Gigantic Celtic Warrior was standing right there. I was like, huh, interesting. Because the hypnotist had asked us, has anyone ever been hypnotized? And I was like, no. And then while I was up there, I was like, oh yeah, I have been. By Brian Weiss, by my friend Erica. I've been hypnotized quite a bit, actually. Hypnosis for me is like going into a meditation, like anything else. It's just a kind of a different form of meditation. And he was there, and I was like, huh, interesting. Oh, he was there the first time I got hypnotized. Oh, right, I was hypnotized. And every time I went to sleep, I saw him. And it was like wake up, and we did all these silly things that the guy had us doing, and then like we went back to sleep, and then he told us what we were going to do next, and every time there he was through the whole evening. And then my back started to hurt on Saturday, and then by Sunday I couldn't walk. And today I'm having trouble walking. It's Monday. I'm having some trouble walking still. And very interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. So I'm going to do this cord cutting. I'm going to cut the negative energy cords. And then I'm going to see the positive energy cords. And I'm going to strengthen those for both of us. Because I feel like me, Elena Joy, I feel like I've learned the lessons, but I feel like he is still struggling with learning the lessons. Mostly of humility. He was very egotistical, very pompous, very, I'm the best, I got this, I'm the biggest, nobody can get me, kind of man. And then they got him. And he was defeated. And he got killed. And I feel like that past life of me is working out some stuff. And it's hitting me, Elena Joy, physically. Isn't this amazing? This whole past life seeing journey, experiencing, remembering, it's a gift. because I wouldn't have known. And now I know. I am so clear on it. Now I know exactly what is going on. So I need to do some very specific, special, intentional healing on him so that I can heal me. Because I was going to the gym and feeling really strong and really good and all the things, like, for the first time ever. And then this happens. And, like, I can barely move, barely walk. I went from feeling really great and really strong to, but like the next day, can't walk. Because it's lessons. There's so many layers of healing and lessons and what we have to do on this planet. It's, oh my gosh. And this is my last lifetime on Earth. And that was an earthly lifetime, so I have to learn it. I have to learn it now before I go on. I have to learn all the things of the human things before I go on and stop having earthly lifetimes. Maybe I'll have more lifetimes on other planets and other dimensions and things like that, but it's not going to be here. I think I'm going to be in my angel form mostly, just helping and healing and teaching people, especially my soulmates. I'm going to help them get through their lifetimes. I'm excited about that. And I've seen that also. I've been blessed to see what is going to happen next for me. And I'm really excited, and it's really beautiful. So, yeah, I don't know. I wanted to get this on video. Maybe for me, maybe I will post this, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I need to get this on video. It was important. It was important to record this. Yeah. I love you. I love me. Keep going. We got this.